Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming such an exciting video. I was totally not expecting this package to show up, and I went to the mailbox because I had a palette from Alien Cosmetics that I got delivery notification for, and I saw this box in my mailbox and I'm like, oh, is it my glam light stuff? And it was a package from Sydney Grace. So I'm sure from the title of this video you guys are just as excited as I am to see the new palettes from Sydney Grace and Temptalia. So let's get into it. If you are new to my channel because you're looking for videos on this collection, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on that bell. I do post pretty much every day and I focus on tan girl friendly makeup here on my channel. When I first got on YouTube like 10 years ago, I had the hardest time finding swatches and videos from people with my particular skin tone, so I decided to take matters into my own hands, started my YouTube channel. So if that sounds good to you, please go ahead and subscribe, and without further blabbering, let's see the new collection from Sydney Grace and Temptalia. Okay, I feel like you guys have been patiently waiting to see this collection, and I was too, and Temptalia was doing such a good job of sneak peeking color stories. She released her theme. She talked about the amount of palettes she was doing and how they each stacked up against each other to form one beautiful picture. There were so many sneak peeks, and I've just been waiting for Sydney Grace to announce when this collection launches, and we finally have a date. It's so funny because they announced the date this week and I literally just posted a will I buy it video, or like a new makeup releases video, and I put in the title, finally we're gonna have the Sydney Grace Temptalia collaboration. And it was sitting in my mailbox. It was such a serendipitous moment for me. So Sydney Grace was so kind, and they actually sent me the whole collection, which consists of 6 eyeshadow palettes. Now, Sydney Grace started doing this thing, I think about 2 years ago, with their palettes where they do a light version and a dark version. And a lot of people really enjoy that because, especially with mattes and especially with like neutral shades, sometimes lighter mattes show up differently on medium to deep skin tones, and so it was really fun when I was doing the swatches. I could see the difference in the tones that they chose, but very similar colors. Like, they didn't alter the color story, they just made it more saturated for a deeper skin tone, which I think most people with deeper skin tones would appreciate. And it's just nice for the brand to pay attention to that, and the fact that they collabed with somebody that actually cared about doing a deep version as well. So there's 6 palettes technically, but technically it's the same color story with a few matte shades that are different. So let me just show you really quick. The first set of palettes are the Quintessence palettes, and this is what the packaging on them looks like. So this is the back and this is the front, and if I turn it around, they both have the exact same packaging. On the back it does say which one is the deep palette and which one is the light palette, and I will notate on the close-ups which one is the deep one, which one is the light one. On the back here it does say it has an 18-month shelf life, and this is made in the USA. And if you guys have any eye sensitivities, all the ingredients are on the palette. Also, something I really like about this collection is that they did sleeves instead of boxes, which I think is really nice, because if you want to keep it in the sleeve, you can. Otherwise, you can take them out of the sleeve. But it's a little bit less wasteful than putting everything in a box. So I do like that they went with a sleeve option instead. And on the sleeves too, it's exactly the same as the packaging. It does have the ingredients and other information on the back. Now, if you don't know too much about Sydney Grace, they are an indie brand based in California. It was started by 2 sisters, I believe, and they've been growing for quite some time now, and I just love this brand so much. They're one of the first brands that send me things in PR, and I do have a code with them, KH Makeup. It's not an affiliate code, it just saves you 15% off your purchase, and you can use my code or you can use Temptalia's code. Just make sure you're using a code because it will save you money when you're shopping. I really enjoy this brand, and I have a lot of their products. I have a playlist from my Sydney Grace collection. There's swatches, there's eyeshadow looks. I've purchased a lot of their single eyeshadows myself, and I've also received some of their newer collections in PR. So if you want to see all of that and you want to binge on some Sydney Grace content, I would highly recommend checking out my playlist, and of course Temptalia herself has a lot of information on her collaboration on her Instagram, as well as I'm assuming on her blog. I haven't actually checked the blog yet, but I know she's got a lot of information from swatches to comparisons on her Instagram, which is so helpful. If you're not following Temptalia, I would highly recommend doing so. She's like the OG beauty blogger, and her blog is so much fun. She gets so much makeup in PR, and she's constantly photographing things. She has a rating system for eyeshadows, so it's very helpful if you ever want to see dupes and comparisons and just close-up swatches of new makeup releases. She's such a great resource. Anytime I'm doing research on makeup collections and I type something into Google, she's usually one of the first people that comes up. So she's a very well-known beauty blogger, and I would highly recommend that you follow her. And so when she announced her collaboration with Sydney Grace, I was so excited for the brand because I feel like Temptalia is so well-known. So this collection, I mean, I predict that it's going to sell out really fast because I feel like there is going to be a lot of demand for it. And I do believe that the brand and Temptalia have confirmed is going to be a permanent collection. I think they're planning on restocking. So in case you're on a budget this month, or you're on a no-buy this year or something like that, I think you're okay. I'm pretty sure that they will restock this collection a few times. So that's a nice option as well for all of you on a budget. So I did film close-ups, and I want to go ahead and get into that for you guys because I think that's going to be the most helpful part. And what I did was I showed you guys the outside packaging, the eyeshadows before I swatched them, so you got to see a clean look at the palettes. Then I swatched the light palette, then I swatched the deep palette, and then I swatched the light and the deep mattes next to each other, so you could see the comparisons of the different tones of the different shades in each palette. So hopefully that makes sense. If you're confused, let me know in the comment section. I can definitely clarify, and I will put notes on the screen while I'm showing the different palettes so you know which one I'm showing you at each time. I think those are all the disclaimers I wanted to make before we roll into swatches, so let's go ahead and look at those. Sydney Grace x Temptalia. This is a 3-palette collaboration with Sydney Grace and Temptalia. Each palette will be available in a deep and light version and can be mixed and matched to create the perfect set. This collection launches on June 18, 2021 at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I would highly recommend checking your different time zones and setting yourself an alarm so you don't miss out on this collection, because I have a feeling this is sure to sell out. And the Sydney Grace website is www.sydneygraceco.com, and the price per palette is $40, or you can get a set of 3 for $100. Now, I'm not sure if that means you can mix and match and create your perfect set, but I would assume that you're just going to get a bundle of either the light option or the deep option. If I find more information, I will try and clarify in the comments or in my description box, so please just check there. Quintessence, a celestial fantasy through a constellation of vivid tones and otherworldly finishes. It is inspired by all things space, the twinkling of stars and the dreams of nebula, on an endless journey through the galaxies and beyond. On the horizon, come back down to Earth from a voyage through space with grounded, grungy neutrals that are intertwined with murmurs of color designed to inspire and complement your favorite neutrals palette. Radiant reflection. Take a moment to reflect on the faceted nature of each of us as individuals and what lies beneath the surface to discover a rainbow of luxurious jewel tones just waiting to be explored. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed those close-ups. Now let's get into how I created this makeup look. Okay, so it's time to film the demo portion of this video. Now there are 3 palettes in this collection. Technically there's 6, but they're pretty much identical except some of the mattes. So I decided while I was swatching that I was going to play with the Radiant Reflection Deep palette. So this is the packaging for that. And if you've been paying attention, you know that the 3 palettes do stack together to create an image. So just remember the name Radiant Reflection. That's the one I'm using today. I will say, in my opinion, this is the most colorful of the 3 palettes that they're launching. And these greens and blues really spoke to me when I was swatching, so I did decide to go ahead and use that. I also want to use this matte green from the On the Horizon dark palette in my crease, so I'm going to go ahead and do an eye look with those shades. There's so much fun to be had, whether you decide to buy one palette, whether you decide to buy all the palettes. Oh my goodness, it's very, very stunning. I will say, just to eliminate waste, you probably want to decide whether you want the light versions or the dark versions, because majority of the eyeshadows are exactly the same, and I wouldn't advise you to buy all 6 palettes unless you just have $200 worth of spare cash laying around. That's just my like financial disclaimer. Like, I wouldn't necessarily buy all 6 palettes because you're gonna get a lot of repetition that way. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a brush for the crease, and this is my What's Up Beauty R104, and I'm going to go into the shade Desert Spoon, and that's what the shade looks like. This is from the On the Horizon palette in the dark format. So let me go ahead and grab that. I do believe that that shade is identical in the light version as well. So some of these palettes have 4 matte eyeshadows, some have 3 matte eyeshadows. I'll go into all that detail once I'm done with the look, but basically I think I'm using all of the shadows that are the same in each palette, but I have very detailed swatches of how the light versions compare to the dark versions at the start of the video, so hopefully you guys can go back and compare. I also have the photos saved as a highlight in my Instagram stories, and my Instagram is public, so you don't have to have an Instagram account to go look at my Instagram. You just look for my profile and check my story highlights, in case that helps anyone out. And of course, Temptalia, who's like the queen of photos, has pictures on her page and her blog and stuff like that, so I will link as much as I can because I'm sure you guys will have so many questions. I'm already getting questions on my Instagram post, and I just posted literally pictures of the palettes. I didn't really have any extra information, but it was really cool because Temptalia actually DM'd me and I was able to ask her if the pans are magnetized, which a few of you had asked in the comment section of my Instagram post, and she was so kind and she said yes, they are magnetized, but she would advise you to use a magnetic pen to remove them. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a special tool that has a strong magnet on the end of it, so you can like just pull them out. If you're going to try and depot these and rearrange them, please use a magnetic pen. I just went in with this brush into Desert Spoon and I blended it in to both creases. I'm going to use this one. This is a Sigma E27 detail blending brush, and it has like a nice taper to it. Okay, so I'm going to go into Sublime Reverie, which is the most beautiful teal matte shade. I definitely had eyes for it as soon as I saw it and swatched it, and I knew I had to incorporate it in this look. I definitely could use this all over my crease because it's such a pretty shade, and I definitely picked this dress because I knew I was going to do a green eye look. You guys know me. If I have the chance to do a green eyeshadow look, I'm going to do a green eyeshadow look. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is such a pretty color. I pretty much ended up, usually I like stop on the outer corner, but I love this green so much that I've basically gone over the shade Desert Spoon at this point with this one because I think it's such a pretty teal blue shade. Can't help myself. Now, if you guys are planning on duping this palette with your existing Sydney Grace collection, more power to you. I don't have that kind of determination in my life. I definitely have bought multiple dupes of things just in my life because of how much I love to try different brands and collect from different brands. So if you guys want to know, like, oh, is there a Sydney Grace dupe for this color already? I don't know if somebody else will make that video, but I'm probably not gonna make that video because it's just a little too much in my opinion. Anyway, now I want to go into Midnight Courage. It's a beautiful like dark navy blue, and I'm gonna do what I would have done with Sublime Riviere, which is just put it on the outer corner just to darken it up. I just love having that definition. It's how I like to do my makeup. I think it's just the most flattering. I just want to mention that. Like, I know I do it all the time, but it's because I like how it shapes my eyes. So hopefully you guys understand why I do it. So I really like how all these three shades are playing together. I'm just taking this big fluffy brush and blending all of them together. I don't like streaky, I don't like harsh lines, so I love when everything is like just blended and gorgeous. Okay, so for metallics, she gave us so many gorgeous metallic options. I really want to use this shade Jealousy Descent. It's just a beautiful emerald like green shimmer shade, but I also have in this palette, I believe, this shade called the Milky Way, and it's beautiful. It's like a duochrome green burgundy shade. Oh, there's so many pretty greens and blues and purples, and we also have this beautiful shade called Aurora. So this is the Quintessence palette. This is the light version, but the shimmers I'm using are going to be the same whether you use the light version or the dark version. So I'm going to grab a MAC 213 flat shader brush, and we're going to pick up the shade Aurora, which is like the prettiest blue purple shade. We're going to spray it because I love to spray my eyeshadows. And oh my god, this is so pretty. Oh, this is such a pretty duochrome. You can just imagine like the amount of makeup Temptalia tries in a year, and like what an honor it is for her to collab with a brand like Sydney Grace. Like, I feel like she is literally an influencer that could have a pick of any brand, and the fact that she decided to partner with Sydney Grace, I think gives Sydney Grace so much credit because their eyeshadows are truly, I mean, just some of the best eyeshadows. Like, the formula is so consistently good, and yeah, Temptalia literally spends her whole day reviewing makeup products. So I think it's so wonderful that somebody that has so much street cred in the makeup industry, in my opinion, like Temptalia, is collabing with Sydney Grace. And they also collabed with Mel Thompson last year. I mean, I love this brand so much. Okay, so I went into the Milky Way. I got it on the same brush and I sprayed it, and I'm just throwing them a little bit on the inner corner. Oh my goodness. Whew, it's mixing with the green matte, and it's creating like the most beautiful shade on my inner corner, and I'm just blending that into Aurora so it's looking somewhat like I did it on purpose and not like harsh lines. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna try not to do the most. I'm gonna try to just leave it the way it is, and I do kind of want to throw on the shade Heart Dog right there. Okay, so I'm gonna use a flat brush, go into Heart Dog, and I just want to put just a little bit on the brow bone. Sydney Grace has like a really beautiful, very glidey metallic, so you don't need a lot, just a little bit, and you'll have a nice glow on the brow bone. So that is the look. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and I will be right back to show you guys how it turned out. Okay friends, so here is the final look. I will try and link everything on my face in my description box in case you're curious about like what lip shade I'm wearing and things like that. I will go ahead and link that in the description box. I don't want to take up too much more of your time since I feel like this video is full of information already. You're probably going to feel information overload. So anyways, you've seen the palettes, you've seen the swatches, you've seen how easy they are to use and blend. Definitely let me know if there's anything else you want to see in an upcoming video on this collection. I could maybe do some more eye looks, or I don't know, just let me know. Any questions I can answer for you guys, I'm happy to go ahead and do so. Okay, so I knew I was going to film this video, so I posted a picture of the palettes on my Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me questions regarding the collection that I could answer in this video. So one of you said, help me decide if I need all three. Worried about FOMO. So I totally get that. I was definitely debating buying all 6 palettes and I had to have like a little conversation in my head of like, $200 is a lot of eyeshadow, and now that I've had all 6 and I've swatched all 6, I will say I don't think you need all 6 palettes. I would just try and look at swatches. I would maybe watch my video a few times, especially the section where I'm doing the comparison swatches, and see what tones really appeal to you. The metallic shades are all the same, you guys, so there's really no reason to buy the deep bundle and the light bundle. You're really gonna have a lot of redundant shades. I mean, I know there's people out there that use one eyeshadow palette and actually pan eyeshadows, but realistically you're gonna pay $40 per palette to have mostly duplicate shades, so I would really try and narrow down what shades are your favorite. I think the bundle is a great deal because you do save a little bit of money overall, but I don't think you need to buy all 6 palettes is what I'm trying to say. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I was definitely thinking I would go for the deep bundle before I got them in person, and I think I still will, but a lot of the new makeup releases videos I've seen recently, even people with lighter to medium skin tones are planning on going for the deep bundle. So I don't know if the deep bundle is going to sell out before the light bundle. That is my prediction. In case that does happen and you show up at the website late and the only thing that's left is the light products, I honestly think you'll be okay because it's just the matte shadows, and I believe it's like 9 matte eyeshadows that are 2 different tones, so I think you'll be okay overall because each palette has 12 eyeshadows. So I definitely think the bundle deal sounds like the best deal, and then whether you get light or dark, I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world, honestly. Okay, one of you asked, do you think they will have these on their Christmas in July? Are these permanent? So I do believe they're permanent. As far as Christmas in July, I'm not sure if the collection will sell out before Christmas in July. I would imagine that if it does sell out, they will restock it by July, but it's hard for me to say. And if you're not familiar with the Sydney Grace Christmas in July sale, they have an awesome sale every year, and basically they have a different deal every day of the week. Now there's typically a day where the palettes go on sale because Sydney Grace does have some other palettes they've previously done. I can't remember from previous years what the exact discount has been. Like, I can't remember if they ever actually do like half off palettes. I'm not sure. But I feel like for as new as this collection is going to be, you can already get it at 15% off if you use somebody's code. So I feel like that's a good deal already, but I can't guarantee that they'll be part of the Christmas in July sale. And if one of you have heard whether it's going to be part of the sale, definitely let us know down in the comments. But I myself, I'm not sure. I would not wait till July to get these palettes, but I'm also like an eyeshadow junkie and I love Sydney Grace, so it's a little bit of a tough situation to be in. Okay, so the next one is, I want both versions. Maybe I'll get the dark version later on. A little redundant to do that, but they are so pretty, doesn't hurt to have 2 sets. It's $200 if you buy both. That's a lot of eyeshadow. a lot of the shades will be repeats versus just the few eyeshadows that aren't repeats. So it's totally up to you. If you are ballin', hey, I am not going to stop you. But if you're on a budget, I would say just pick a bundle and go with that. Okay, I had quite a few people ask if the eyeshadows are magnetized. I did talk about that in the demo portion, but in case you skipped it, yes, they are magnetized into the pans. And I actually asked Christine from Temptalia, because she was talking to me in the DMs because I was so freaking excited, and I was tagging her in like 900 posts, and she did say that you can actually remove the pans, but she would recommend you use a magnetic pen. I don't have one of those, but I definitely plan on getting one in the future. Okay, so another question. If you were purchasing the collection, would you have picked the light or dark version? I'm a medium olive skin tone and not sure which ones to buy. I totally think this is such an important question, because when you're right in the middle like me, it's so hard to decide, especially when it comes to face palettes. I struggle so much because the light medium is like too light and then the medium deep is always like too dark. So it's very hard when you're right in the middle. And with this collection, I was definitely leaning towards the deep side. And I think that if I got on the website and they were both available, I would still choose the deep collection. But I do think from swatching these, if the deep version sells out first, I think you would be okay picking up the light one as well. I think that most of the shadows would still be flattering on medium skin tones, even if you just buy the light version. Okay, so those were the main questions I saw on my Instagram post, and so I'm happy I was able to answer those for you. Okay, so I think all of these palettes are fabulous, but one palette does stand out to me the most, and that is this one. This is called Radiant Reflection, and I feel like this is definitely the more colorful palette, but I do love this color story the most of the three palettes. I definitely reach for the shades in this palette the most to create this eye look today, but I will be playing with the other two as well and just seeing how things apply, what kind of looks I can create with them. So I'm very excited to have gotten these in PR, and thank you so much to Sydney Grace and Temptalia for sending these my way. I think that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any makeup friends that are curious about this collection, please send them this video. It'll really help me out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video soon. Bye guys!